Hi, it's Carol from Crinkled Path Journals, and I'm back for another junk journal with me memory keeping in our altered book. I pulled these pages as inspiration for today's page, and I have this picture of children on a ball field playing, and I have a couple of rhymes that, unlike the silly one from the last page that was more for adults, these were every kid in my era's decision-making tools. You might flip a coin. We had to do poems to decide who got to be it, or who was in and who was out, or who got to go first. So that's where these poems kind of come in. Ones like this one, my mother and your mother were hanging up clothes. My mother hit your mother in the nose. What color blood came out? R-E-D spells red. So you would go around each person in the circle if you were trying to pick somebody to go first or not get to go first, and you'd have to touch each person as you said a word. And then usually if you came to the end of this saying, you would also say, you are not it, or you are it, or you are out. So there's a couple of different poems here that I remember. I remember the violent laundry mothers. Don't know why they were punching each other in the nose, but just silly. And then the Eenie Meenie Minie Mo, catch tiger by the toe. You might recall that one. This one was Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he? So I don't remember that one being so much a decision maker for us, but just a tongue twister. One of the other tongue twisters I loved was rubber baby buggy bumpers and trying to say it fast. This one too is another Eenie Meenie Minie Mo. Catch a thief by the toe. If he hollers, make him pay $50 every day. And so you would just use those to help make your life decisions. And that's where the video shut off. 2 minutes into finishing this page. I guess I'm learning, for this has happened twice now since I started filming. I'll go ahead and talk you through what I did, and we'll go on to do this other page. I took the poems, put them on this bag facing each other. I cut the bag both at the top, folded the bottom, so this is the pleated part of the bag on the bottom. Here, let me grab another bag to show you. So if this is the bottom of the bag, I folded it like this. I cut off this end so it would fit, and then I glued this flap down after I cut this side open, so that I have a pocket here. I have a pocket here for my journaling, and I have a pocket on this side. So then I just added some elements that added to the blue and the red theme, and then I also picked Charlie Brown because he's in his little baseball manager uniform here, and it kind of reminded me of that being picked for a game or not being picked for a game. And then I also put this little fruit sticker on here because, you know, fruit gets picked, right? I included one more of my paper doll outfits, and then you can read the little rhymes in here. And I liked that your raffle ticket might get picked. And then I just liked the texture that this fabric mesh added, as well as the blue in the coin wrapper. This trim is one that I recently got at a thrift store, and it just tied things together, the red and the blues and the greens in this picture. I'm sorry again that I'm still learning what to do with the phone. When I sit down, I get very excited to film and I forget I have to turn on that do not disturb. So it is on now. So we'll hope for the best that that was the issue and not a memory thing with my phone or something. I tried to clean it out. So for this page, I looked through my stack of things that I want to journal about, and I found this piece of paper that has a very similar blue, and so I thought, let's go with that, because I don't necessarily want the pages to have to correlate. I don't want the subjects to be in any kind of timeline or particular order per se, just for that one page. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on the page this way. I want to make sure the words are covered. And then I'm going to fold it in. Let's see, I think I'm going to line up my little holes down here. And then I'm going to collage on the front of this. So what I have brought over for collaging, and I may want some kind of background paper, is a doily, a bunch of things I'm dropping on the floor, some Bible playing cards from old games that I had, and then I also have this Care of Your Piano folio. I have the cover to a Hallmark book, and I have a library index card that is Impressionism in Art and Music, 1970. So here's what I have to play with for my collage on this other page. I don't want to put anything inside the paper because I like the remembrance of doing this finger play. So let's start with gluing that down, and I'm very nervously checking my camera that it's still running. I totally don't trust it now. Church was always a big part of my childhood, and I remember that I always had a few things to do while I was sitting and listening quietly, having a sketch pad, paper to fold into origami shapes, or I also had fuzzy felts. Did you ever have fuzzy felts? I really would like to find some and add them as part of one of my journal pages, because I used to love those. The finger play is something I had in a book that I was allowed to bring into church and listen quietly with, and so I love that I got to find this piece from a songbook that I found. Okay, now I need to think about what I want to do. Now that I look at this, it looks like a little bit different color, blues and more pastels. So I think I'm not going to do that one. That's kind of in that same category too, but it's more of a blue than this one is a turquoise. So I'm going to set that aside. Let me see if I can find some background paper. Pull out my scrappy bag. That one's turquoise too. Huh. Maybe that. Of course, it's just more white though. I think I want something more solid blue. I have this Reader's Digest condensed book cover. And I kind of like the spine. It doesn't say what year it is, but that doesn't matter. We're going to be covering most of it up. Okay, so I'm going to take, even though the piano thing kind of ties, I'm going to push that back into my bag. I'm going to trim this down. Roughly. Okay, I'll tear this. And I'm going to start by gluing that down because I know I want that to cover the music on here. I think I am going to trim a little bit more off of this edge. I like those crunchy, crinkled edges. Okay, now, oh, it said right there 56. Okay, I'm going to put this guy down next. And do I care that it's right side up or wrong side up? Maybe. I want to cover up that orange book. Okay, glue this down. I shared a little bit from this other page that was lost, the video that was lost, about how even though I wasn't a very popular child, I remember always having friends on the playground. Like, never a shortage of friends on the playground. We'd get out there and we'd play jump rope or Chinese jump rope or jacks or hopscotch, kickball. And we played a lot of games outside, like I was talking about on the previous page, where we would play outside in our neighborhood, hide and seek and kick the can, that was always fun. I kind of wish I had put that down underneath. Not anything I can do about that now. So maybe I'm not going to use that unless, nope. That matches a little too well. Maybe if I put this one down. I think I have too many things that are the same size. Okay, I'm gonna try that. And then I'm not going to use this card. Always better to have too many things than not enough. I've got my handy dandy ribbon basket stuffed. See if I can find something blue or red. This is sewn as a tube, so I'm gonna cut it open because I don't think we want all that bulk. I think I'm going to trim this down and try it along the edge and see if we like it. Didn't quite get it all off. It's a little bit puckered, like the fabric is like a seersucker kind of material, and so it's a little hard to cut straight. So what rhymes do you remember from schoolyard pick or finger plays that you liked as a child? I'd love to hear from some of you who are watching, and if you'd share some of your memories, that would be really fun for me too. I may need to iron this a little bit. All right, I was thinking about this too, that this is not going to be able to flip open if I put this across there. So I think I'm going to cut this card in half and move it over here more, trim it right on the edge. Okay, I better get this down before I do anything else. So I'm going to move these, let's see, these two aside. Glue this one first. Now I'm actually wondering, because I put glue on the bottom, if I want to glue this one on like that. I don't even know if you can see that, or am I off camera? I think that's fun. So it makes a nice little handhold to turn the page. It's not permanent until you glue it down. And even then, I've been known to change my mind. They're different size cards, but that's okay too. Well, this one goes up here. Oh. Well, I changed that all up, but that works. Okay, now back to our ribbon. I can flip this up now, and I think I'm going to glue it just along this edge here. And because the fabric is longer than the page, I'm going to kind of bunch it up a little. So I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this one. I love the feel of this paper that this piano instructions is printed on. It's like a linen paper and it feels so nice. Had some funny strings. Okay, I'll glue the ends first. And then I'm just gonna kind of bunch up the fabric all the way down. I can have a little more grace time to fuss with this with the Fabri-Tac too, versus the art glitter glue dries very quickly and you can't move your things. I think I might want to bunch the ends too. Yeah, let's do that. So what I'm going to do is put a drop of glue right here on the end, and then I'm going to fold the fabric into it, and then one fold, and then this piece is already kind of wanting to go that direction. Fold that again and press that in, and just hold it until it dries, and hopefully dries to the paper and not to my finger. And then I'll do the same thing on this side. So it's going to almost look like a little bunting out there. I think of those 4th of July, you know, flag buntings that get hung on people's porches. That kind of a shape. Need a little bit more glue on this side. I think that'll hold it. I got strings. Strings upon strings stuck to my fingers. Oops. All right, got that little piece. Okay, now that I changed this up, maybe I want to add something else. So I grabbed my box with music related items. I kind of like that. It's a little big. These were little flashcards that my music teacher had drawn for me. I kind of want it hanging over, but then the book won't open. So maybe I'll think about, I was talking about trimming this one. Maybe I'll trim this one. And then we can put this there. So there, I think that will work. And then we'll put this little guy on here and it'll be good to go. then when the book is closed, it's peeking out a little bit. This is already getting pretty fat, and we've only done, what? How many pages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double-sided pages. So you can see why I had to remove most of the pages from the book. Otherwise, it was going to get gator mouthed really quickly. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for joining me again. See you next time.